You're listening to Edging the Truth.
Welcome to episode 20 of Edging to the Truth, you guys. We made
What'd
it
you
to
just
the big...
Edging to the Truth? Is that the name of our podcast?
I said Edging the Truth.
Yes, you said edging to the truth, to the truth.
I said Edging the Truth.
Fucking hot start on episode 20. God damn it, Brian.
God damn it. I said Edging the Truth. All right, we edging. It's the truth. We take you to the edge of the truth, but no further.
No further.
No further. And I emphasis on no further. But this episode is a great episode as I stop to take a sip of my beverage to say that we are talking about food and beverage and just general restaurant and food conspiracies on this one. It's a fun topic tonight. Lots of once I really was like, what other food conspiracies can I find? There are a lot of them out there, and a lot of them are wacky, and there's a lot of regional ones. And a lot of it's, the classic urban legends about, the just after all that Jack in the Box stuff, they had like conspiracy theories around them for years that they were poisoned by another fast food chain, all this stuff. And, the great Jack in the Box conspiracy that made their tacos so cheap for so long. Well, they weren't good tacos all the years. Nevertheless, today, our first topic.
They still make tacos, don't they?
I know, but it's not, it's not 2 for 99 cents. There's no more Monster Taco. I have Jack in the Box regrets. But today on our first episode, we have 2 topics we're going to talk about here, and I'm just going to start us off with the first one. The first topic we were going to talk about is a big controversy, is the Mexican Coke controversy. How people love Mexican Coke. I love Mexican Coke. Does anybody else here love Mexican Coke? You like Mexican Coke? Not just for podcast sake, like you enjoy a Mexican Coke?
I tried to get one for the show today, and it's a 90-degree day. They're all sold out everywhere in town.
Yeah, but everybody likes the Mexican Coke. So nobody here is on the... But all right, so the thing is, the thing with Mexican Coke that everybody likes is because it's supposed to be made with the pure cane sugar, not the high fructose corn syrup. That's why we all like it. It has different taste. If I am going to an authentic taco place and they don't got Mexican Coke, it's not authentic to me because I need a Mexican Coke and some 3 tacos for $1 that I don't know what the meat is, but it's good.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, what do you got on the menu? Tacos. I was like, all right, I'll take 3 of those.
Yeah, just give me tacos.
That's a good Mexican place. And I love good Mexican Coke and I loved it forever. But then this controversy hit me hard. And the controversy is that it has not been made with the pure cane sugar in some time. So that sometime between 2010 and 2020, the pure cane sugar was phased out because all of a sudden, I don't know, trade changed or something changed that they could get the high fructose corn syrup and they just silently slipped in the cheaper ingredient and nobody knows the difference.
Do they just keep believing it's just like it's the Mandela effect or whatever?
It's just reached a zeitgeist that Coke is better because it's more special. It says that Hecho in Mexico on the side. But your thoughts, friends, as Mexican Coke drinkers yourselves, what do you think about this? Do you think that this is true that they switched over because it was cheaper, or do you think it's still made with the pure cane sugar? Because there are some sources that say in parts of Mexico you can still get the one with the pure cane sugar. But what do you guys think?
Like what? There's some bottling plant that's like, no, we're gonna keep doing it.
Yeah, that's we're just doing this the old way.
Part of the reason this happened is, like America, Mexico is one of the fattest countries in the world. They were at one point leading the world in the obesity rate. So the Mexican government decided to impose a tax on sodas and sugary drinks, and as a kind of in a move to not affect the bottom line, get cheaper, they're obviously trying to account for how much they're going to be paying in taxes. They were like, well, we can just get high fructose corn syrup for cheaper than we can get the actual sugar. So if we got to pay a tax, fuck you, we're putting the high fructose in there. And I think that was part of the reason behind it. I think this even stems back to 1980 was the first time the Mexican government tried to introduce some legislation like this. And I think it kind of depends on what is more readily available in the area at the time. So maybe there are some in Mexico that are using the pure cane sugar, but I think, it could also be just, oh my God, a huge corporation lying to people to make more money? Who knew? Yeah. Of course. Of course, though.
Yes. Is this a true conspiracy, or are we just talking about economics here? One Lung, what are your thoughts on the Mexican Coke?
I think that with every conspiracy, it starts with some truth, right? So in this, like Andy said, like a big company lying to people, no surprise, right? And I totally think that this is valid. Like, there probably is tons of Mexican Cokes out there with high fructose corn syrup in it, and maybe there are some that are still got the real cane sugar in it. But I definitely think this is plausible, and it's probably actually even more than plausible. It's probably 100% true, and there's probably very few that actually have cane sugar in it anymore anyway. So I think that it depends, like Andy said, like which one is more available to the bottling company at the time. Like, is the high fructose corn syrup available, or is the cane sugar available? And whichever one it is, that's what's getting put in the bottle. And guess what? Nobody knows the difference. It gets here, and they're like, "Oh yeah, it says this on the side." It's totally just a Mandela effect. It's like, oh, we think that it's in there, so it tastes better.
Dave, your thoughts on your tasting?
Well, I'm just trying to see. I've got some. Like I said, I couldn't get some Mexican Coke, but I've got a Mexican Sprite.
Does it say it has pure cane sugar in it?
That's what I want. That's what. It does say cane sugar on the bottle.
Okay.
And so I've got a regular one, and I've got an American one too. So we'll give it a little taste here, real quick.
Taster.
I mean, it tastes like a Sprite. I'm not a giant Sprite fan, but it's not bad. It tastes like a normal Sprite, but let's taste the high fructose from America.
Fructose? Do you taste the corn?
I mean, I have to say it's a little brighter taste. It tastes a little. I mean, I notice a tiny bit of difference, barely, but enough of a difference that it feels like the Mexican Sprite is a little more mellow, if you will. Like it doesn't have as much zing on the taste, which is weird, but yeah.
Andy,
I mean,
your thoughts here? I see you swilling down in the corner.
Like I'm a sommelier.
Red,
yeah.
Red, further thoughts?
A little, yeah. I mean, again, I feel like
it's pretty similar.
We were talking about it's so similar. And I feel like if you, again, it would be really nice if we were doing this like from a real scientific standpoint, like they're both out of glass, or whatever. See if that's affecting the taste, blah, blah, blah. But I do feel like, to my memory, buying Mexican Cokes did give a different taste, and I know that the other company, Pepsi, they went really hard a few years ago with saying, you know what? We're just going to offer our stuff both ways. We're going to put pure sugar on the ones that are pure sugar, and they make Pepsi and what are the other big Pepsi brands? I can't remember. There's 3 or 4. Well, yeah, I mean the Pepsi, obviously all the other Pepsis, but like there's a root beer and there's a 7-Up and et cetera, et cetera.
What about Diet Pepsi?
Yeah, that too.
Okay.
That too. We're talking about other flavors besides
Vanilla
cola
Pepsi?
Flavored. Yeah.
Okay.
What other
Pepsi
Pepsi
Blue?
I just want to
got?
make sure.
I think our
Brian,
audience
I just wanna make sure Brian
understands what
understood
I'm
what
talking
Pepsi.
about.
Clearly,
Clearly, you don't understand what I'm talking about.
Clear
I
Pepsi.
didn't realize that. I was like, I didn't think you were talking about their family of brands. All right, that's on
Yes,
me.
exactly.
With your family
Anyway,
of brands. But I mean, Fudge, your thoughts here? You just swilled both.
Mountain Dew is a Pepsi product. There's a Mountain. You can get Mountain Dew with real
cane
sugar.
Mountain Dew.
Yes.
They taste the same to me.
Yeah.
It's pretty damn similar.
It's pretty similar.
What if the change that you're tasting, Red, has nothing to do with the sugar?
Well, that's what I'm
But
saying.
maybe
That's
there's
why
another
no.
product that they put in there that's like, oh, we're gonna change this a little bit so that it tastes a little different, but it's got nothing to do with the sugar.
It absolutely may not be. I mean, if we compare these ingredients, I bet it's somewhat similar, but not exactly the same.
And some
who
stuff
knows
is
about the
probably-
ratios, right?
Right.
There's no way of knowing the ratios between.
And some stuff is locally sourced, and the water is still from down in that part. Water tastes different in different places. So it's, all of those things contribute to it if it's actually bottled down there. But even then, part of this whole conspiracy is that now they're putting Hecho in Mexico on the bottles and just putting them on shelves here and still bottling it here.
That's what I was saying.
It could just be that this is less carbonated.
Well, and that's also the thing too, between a bottle and that kind of bottle, one holds carbonation better than the other. I mean, you see that all the time in their sparkling water game. A glass bottle holds better than the plastic sometimes, and vice versa. The liquid deaths, I love those because those things the cans keep so bubbly, that water.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I can.
And as bottles and sodas and stuff get older, they lose their carbonation. So especially if that stuff traveled down from a place onto truck somewhere and heat and all that stuff, lose carbonation. So it could just be a less bubbly soda that has a different taste as well.
Yeah,
but I mean,
I know I can taste the difference when it's the Pepsi products that say real sugar versus the non-real sugar, because that's the one I buy. I buy the one with the real sugar because I prefer how it tastes.
I'd like to pose a question.
It's pretty slim here to me.
I'd like to pose a question.
Yeah.
That's kind of related to this.
Okay, answer's ready.
Out of the fast food restaurants, who has the best sodas?
It's McDonald's.
Yeah.
McDonald's has the best Coke.
Taco Bell 100% has the best sodas.
No.
Just in terms of, are you talking about in terms of variety or how their machines are mixed?
Yeah. The mixture 100% is Taco Bell for me.
I mean, Taco
I
Bell's
don't know. I haven't had a lot of good sodas. It just depends on your Taco Bell, but McDonald's has them shits like locked in, calibrated.
I heard that
McDonald's fountain sodas are so different too.
Especially now with that multi-machines, they everything tastes different than multi-machines because you taste part of the last soda somebody made.
Yeah, I agree with you on that too.
By the way, before we go on, Brian, we have a comment that wants to know if you've got a hookup story about Jack in the Box.
Like in a Jack in the Box?
You don't get some tacos at the Jack in the Box?
Josh said he heard you hooked up with the Jack from Jack in the Box. So,
you think if I had hooking up with the Jack from Jack in the Box, I'd have some kind of side piece money from that. I wouldn't be here with you guys. I'd be riding that Jack in the Box as far as it took me.
So I mean, the reality here is that there's no proof of this, right? Because clearly the bottles still say.
Some of the bottles have no ingredients because in Mexico they don't have that same requirement for a lot of their stuff, so that the label's always slapped on the side after. So, and even like I said, if we're actually just bottling it here and slapping the label on, I'd be like, yeah, that sounds right too. Just stuff is cheaper. I don't
think it's going to keep me from buying it. Oh, does
it? I think a lot of people would disagree with us and say like, no, there's still. I taste it. I taste the difference because I won't have high fructose corn syrup and I only have this soda and I taste it. And it's just, I mean, I can say everything tasted different 10 years ago, 15 years ago.
Well, and your taste buds do develop, right?
But even like Twinkies now, when they were bought by this new company and made different, they don't taste like the old ones, and everything just gets smaller and all that. I just sound like an old man here. Everything gets smaller. You damn kids taking away my snacks. You give me more sleeves, but less.
What happened to the super big gulps?
What happened to the super size fries? Huh? Let's go back, gentlemen.
We were just talking this morning. Andy and I were talking about how our taste buds change like every 7 years. So,
Yeah.
They worked it. They changed the recipe right in the middle of our windows.
Bring back the cocaine.
Well, I mean, we're all agreed here then, right? That this is sort of.
Is this a controversy? Is this a conspiracy? Am I supposed to believe that like this company and all their benevolence that smuggles their secret recipe all over the world? Like that it's made in all these countries. So many countries are made in, and so why are we not clamoring for any of other there? Oh my God, you guys have to have this Australian Coke.
French Coke.
It's so much different is the French Coke and all that stuff because they're just like, whatever, high fructose corn syrup, fine by us. They just make the recipe. They literally just make the recipe and make that money. So it's just, I mean, I have had other stuff in other countries. Like I said, ingredients vary, the water, the local stuff. Like I still remember when I went to Indonesia, like as a kid, I still remember that Fanta because it was so good. And I never had that Fanta orange anywhere else the same as then, and maybe it's the nostalgic of being a child abroad and having an unlimited supply of Fanta soda at this fucking place we were staying.
Well, Fudge, maybe you can attest to this. I had many bartenders tell me that the soda in the gun at bars is rarely ever Coke. Like they just buy whatever the cheap soda cola is. Lots of times it was RC. I had many times where they were like, it's actually RC.
Yeah, me personally, I mean, I was at a Buffalo Wild Wings, so we had a contract where
you definitely had to use
it had
their
to be
stuff.
Pepsi.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I can definitely see bars and bar owners being slimy and trying to get the cheapest possible product. And I mean, of course, especially when you're 90% of your clientele are drunks, like, do you think very many of them are going to notice? Like, sure, you're going to have a couple slobs, but for the most part, they're coming there to get drunk, not taste their mixer. You know,
they don't care about the Jack and Coke. In the Jack and Coke, they don't care about the Coke.
Right.
But I would never order Jack and Pepsi. I'm just saying.
No, but that's the thing, right? And Jack Daniels has worked really hard. I mean, I remember they had a whole ad campaign with Coke to just sort of go, no, it's not. There's no other. It's a Jack and Coke.
There's no other mixer.
Well, I feel like that's a done deal. The Coke conspiracy, regardless of whether it exists, isn't swaying any of us.
I don't think it's a conspiracy. Like it's just I honestly, even I've had the pure cane sugar sodas, you know, especially I like a pure cane sugar root beer, but like, does it really like change? It's still root beer, you know what I'm saying? Like it's just it's just a different ingredient, and I think that everybody was like, oh, it's so much better. It was good. It was also like, it was just nice to have that nice cold Coke in the bottle. It's a throwback. It's a little nostalgic. You like it. It was a big bottle. It was because you get a liter because it comes in a litre. You know what I'm saying? You get that nice big bottle of Coke, and it's nice.
You used to save the bottles, like you
But
could
now
make
it's
shelves with them.
And now it's anywhere from $3 to $5 at any place you go.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I'm off the soda anyway, fellas. I'm in water country.
And they ran some tests on this back in 2013 or 2014, like on this Mexican Coke specifically. Like, all right, let's look at the chemicals. Like, let's break it down. Like, what is this? They tested it for sucrose, which is sugar. They found none, but they did find glucose and fructose, which when sucrose is broken down, that's what sugar is. Which that's the same thing that is in regular American Coke. But they did find it was just more of a balance. I believe from the test that was quoted in the article I read, it was like the American Coke it was like 60-40 glucose and fructose, whereas the Mexican Coke was 50-50. So sure, there's a little bit of a difference there, but it's still not cane sugar in it. So I don't know if there really is a conspiracy here.
Yeah.
What I feel like that's accurate too is that people kind of it's skewed towards local tastes. You know what I'm saying? Like if you go to that Coke museum in Atlanta, they have like the whole thing at the end of the tour where you can try all the different Coke products from all the world, and some of them shits are disgusting.
Yeah.
Disgusting. Some of I think I had a Greek soda once. It almost made me vomit there. It was like, especially after I had drinking a lot of other sodas in that run and have a bad one. It was rough.
I remember my dad went to Russia in the 80s and brought back some Russian Pepsis, and they were disgusting. Disgusting.
It was Pepsi with a Y. It was like, it's the same.
I may even have saved one of the bottles. It was, It's
the same thing. It's good. Drink it. But I mean, but underlyingly, like I said, they're made with local ingredients. Sometimes I'm sure they can tweak the recipe up and down for local flavors. Like I said, when I had that Fanta in Indonesia, it was a lot sweeter. Mm-hmm. A lot more like the orange flavor than you get over here. And I think it's the same thing. So is Mexican Coke its own unique thing? Yes, because it's just bottled. You know, I would even say on different sides of America, you have different bottling plants. The stuff tastes different because it's just how far it has to travel.
Yeah. Yeah, we're talking
local
this one in circles. We all agree on this one.
But like if I'm drinking like a Topo Chico, you know, this was bottled, you know, in some place in Mexico. You can really taste the Mexico, but it's a bubbly water.
Yeah.
But it's a bubbly water. But that's no. I think we can put a bow on this, fellas. What do you think? A. Let's just go with A. Yes or no. Do you think that this Mexican Coke thing is a conspiracy? That somebody's lying, trying to make us believe that it's high fructose corn syrup and it's still pure cane sugar? Is it a thing by Big Corn or what? Yes or no? Is this
Oh, I'm in on Big Corn being behind this.
Yeah,
I'm in on Big Corn.
But I also don't even care. Like if it's there, I'm like, okay, cool. I can live with that.
Marketing.
Yeah, I don't even care.
One Lung?
I'm indifferent.
Yeah.
Indifferent.
Yeah, this is one of those things. Like, I agree with Red 100%. It's like, am I drinking high fructose corn syrup? Maybe. Am I drinking sugar? Maybe. Either way, I'm drinking it and it's delicious.
Yes.
It's powdered sugar and it's delicious.
It's the same thing with, like, whatever your drug of choice may be. You don't really think about too much what's in it.
Yep.
You're like, hey, I just know what it does for me.
Yep. I mean, that's really it. So, whether you're gluten free or not, that's it's on you. That's between you. If you have a nut allergy, we apologize. Look at this dog coming in hot. This dog wants to be in the podcast.
I'm much more interested in your.
Look at that snout. He is just all up in your business. What is it? Yep. Give that dog a treat or something. What is he? He's tearing your shirt off.
Don't say those words.
Oh, classic dog shots. Well, all right. So, Andy, you're in on Big Corn, but is this a conspiracy or is it a company that just decided we're going to go cheaper, or you're just whatever?
I think it's a company that decided they were going to go cheaper. Anytime we see these big corporations get a higher tax, they're going to find ways around it or find ways to, kind of live with it or make it work better for them or as best as possible for them. I mean, from doing the taste test, they taste pretty damn similar. And I can see how, putting something crazy on the label or the whatever they did with the 6-packs, the cool designs on there, just catch people's eye, charge them an extra $1, $2 for it, call it Mexican Coke. Americans, we're fucking stupid. We'll buy it. I think this is a company trying to pull a fast one on us. I think one thing we didn't talk about that I thought was interesting is there's an ingredient in Coke that is like supposed to make you not throw up. That's like phosphoric acid or some shit like that. That's found in like anti-vomiting drugs. Yes. Yeah, which I didn't know, which was really weird. When they say it's not used for that, it's for the taste. It's what gives the Coke its tartness. I thought that was really interesting.
That's actually one of the big reasons that 7-Up is used a lot for like stomach aches and stuff.
Well, and also we got to guys think about when the time of like the Coke was started. It was when it was soda fountains, and that soda fountain was in a pharmacy, and they were just kind of throwing all kind of shit there to make it fizzy and whatever. I mean, Sprite was made to be like something that would settle your stomach. So like that's really, and the dog agrees with me. But that's how all this stuff came about. So I mean, the first Coke had the coca leaves in it, man. We were on that. We had cocaine, and they probably put that shit in so you didn't throw up from that cocaine. So it's like is it still in there? Yeah, just because that's what the recipe was, and it's still considered in some countries. I mean, hey, if I'm alive, my stomach's upset sometimes, or if I'm hungover, I'll have a 7-Up or a Sprite. You know what I'm saying? Helps take the edge off a little bit, a little sugar, little bubble. But that's what all that stuff was. And we eat and drink a lot of stuff. We just don't know what's in it. You know what I'm saying? A lot of our frozen food here in America, other countries won't import because they don't consider it food. And we're just like, Hungry Man dinner? Fuck yes.
Yeah.
Salisbury steak? Who wants a hot
Count me in.
Frozen pizza, I'll take all of it. We've all shopped. We shop the middle aisles. We know the vibes.
Speaking of steaks, isn't our next myth about steakhouses?
Oh, you ready for this? Are you ready for this, Phil? So are we wrapped? I didn't get a thing from Long.
Yes.
Yeah,
you're done on it. Yeah, Coke's done.
We are beating a dead horse.
We don't give a fuck. Yes, it is whatever it is. It is. I just enjoy drinking a glass bottle of Coke. Maybe that's really what it is. And plus, I like getting it in liter. I think that's what I think it's glass versus plastic. I like glass. Moving on. So on this next topic, you guys, this one hit me a little close to home because I worked for this company for a lot of years back in the day. But it's this is the conspiracy that the Outback Steakhouse is running a satanic cult.
I love this one.
I have no other way to say that phrase. I thought a lot of different ways I could try to say it, but it's just the Outback Steakhouse is running a satanic cult. That's
Well,
Yes.
I'm gonna say sign me up because their bloomin' onion is delicious.
You're
And I
willing to
fucking
worship
love
the Dark
Their
Lord
baby
for-
back ribs.
One lung said, "I will sign my soul over to the devil for a blooming onion."
for fucking
And
Me
and
too.
those baby back ribs. Okay, they
Oh
are
my God.
delicious.
And nobody said steak at the steakhouse. Do you see that? Do you see that? Wow. I think that's the better thing, that neither one of you said, give me a steak for that from the steakhouse. I worked there for many years. I enjoyed the chicken. I like their swordfish. I was not a big steak guy.
So
Yeah.
the main evidence for this, right, is that the way where they build the
Outbacks,
Outbacks, right?
yes.
They form a pentagram on the map,
Yes.
right? Is that the only real evidence?
Yeah, it was a meme on Twitter.
I mean, that's it. I saw all that stuff. I was like, but wait, it's all just based on that. I bet
Yes.
we could pick a lot of
and
things
an old
connect to the
Reddit
pentagram.
Reddit post that was essentially the same thing, where it's
Yeah.
what is Outback Steakhouse planning? Because and it's not just one metro area. It was Philadelphia, Austin, Texas, Florida, fucking California. They're
of
all.
places.
It's like at least 5, and they're all in the Pentagon, in the 5-star shape. When you connect them all, obviously. But yeah, something funny that came from Twitter, but it kind of makes you think, like, all right, is this a hiding in plain sight type of thing?
Yeah, city
you go to
planner
the
maybe making a
middle-
joke.
No, it's just, guys, it's classic. If you get a franchise, usually you have to open 5 stores. And those 5 stores always have to be a certain distance from each other. And it's even in their like book that you should basically kind of like put them as like you were doing a star. I don't think they were thinking satanic star, but I think they were. It's in the handbook. It's like, this is where you should. Don't put the stores too close to each other. They have to be this far away. It's like, that's just it. And that's Outback. That's like their formula.
Not to
Here's
mention
5
that
stores. Open
the
that
points
shit. Take
of
over
a
the city.
5-point the points of a 5-point star are also what? A pentagon, right? Like it doesn't have, you can connect those points by straight lines to each other
Yeah.
and make a different shape, and it's not a pentagram.
Yeah.
Right? You can make a pentagon.
But for the sake of it being a pentagram, if you show up in the middle of that pentagram, does Crocodile Dundee show up? Because I would love to meet that motherfucker.
Wait, what? Is Crocodile Dundee the devil?
Because of the Outback, you know? Like
Yeah.
it's the Aussie reference. You didn't
You
get
didn't-
one lungs.
oh,
You didn't
come
come down
on.
to one lungs level
That
of
was
humor there.
easy.
Oh my
Come
God.
on, that was a softball,
That
bro.
Oh,
fruit was
man.
that low-hanging fruit was too
Jeez,
low.
dude, you're the comedian of the bunch. Come on, you should be able to read that.
I don't know, because I felt like there might be another conspiracy theory where Crocodile Dundee is the devil. I think I've heard that somewhere, or at least he sold his soul to get that fame for a little while.
Well,
Heard
there's a
that
That's
too.
clip
not a
for-
knife.
But I mean, Red, are you going to throw up some of our pictures that we?
Oh,
done?
yes.
Uh,
I made.
We got real deep down as we had a deep discussion on the satanic possibilities of the Outback Steakhouse. And I'm not saying it's not a cult either. Like when you work at Outback, they make you take personality tests because they want to hire all the same people that are kind of in the same kind of ballpark personality-wise together, so they get along. I mean, there's a whole formula how to hire people and how to do everything the Outback way and all that stuff. So it could be a cult. But I don't know if I would say satanic. I would just more say that's what we call a corporation sometimes, because this is how we do it. As a franchise. A franchise is a turnkey thing. You follow the franchise.
It is about money and quantity.
Cult.
Well, one of the things that we did that I think a number of us in this group have dove in hard to is the making of AI art over the last couple of weeks. And one of the thoughts I had was to make some imagery of Outback Steakhouses in hell. So here's just a few of what we came up with. I made 4 that I thought I would share. If you take nothing from this podcast, do check out Midjourney. It's a fabulous AI art creation tool, and we're all having way too much fun with it.
I feel like
But
there should be more boomerangs in this, but the hell is very authentic.
I
like
love the imagery of all of these.
I like how this is like a sports book, and like just all the stuff is just like, here's what's going on in hell. That's all it was on the screen.
Exactly.
Oh,
I also like
shit.
that every time I did it, they were empty. There's nobody.
There
There's
was
no
not one
patrons.
person in
There's
there.
nobody sitting at it.
Nope.
There's
Mm-mm.
not someone
Nobody
enjoying a
enjoying
nice
an
steak,
onion.
even though the prompt I think I put in was interior of an Outback Steakhouse in hell, pentagrams on the walls. I was pretty specific, but nope, no people.
It's on the wall.
I would still eat ribs there. I love their ribs.
The Outback makes good food.
I mean,
It's pretty
They do some
solid.
quality control on their ingredients. It's not a bad, they really like the shrimp is always good. They're always regulated. They do good on their stuff. They throw away shit if it's old. Can't fault them on that. Now, are they run shittily sometimes? Fuck yes, they are. The one right next to me is terrible. But do I enjoy an Outback? Yes, I do. And when they have a free Bloomin' Onion Yelp check-in, I take advantage of that every time. Give me that free onion. But I still love the Outback cheese fries. I love their fucking chicken on their
Their mesquite chicken's good too.
The ribs are good, but the ribs were better when they put them in the pressure cooker. And now and then a few of them exploded because people were stupid. So now they don't pressure cook the ribs anymore, and that's a sad thing.
I like Joshua's comment.
Yeah, we accept Outback and Satan. Whatever wants to give us a sponsorship here at Edging the Truth. We seem wide open to it. Mikey was apparently ready to sell his soul for a motherfucking onion.
He loves it that much.
You know what's funny is I don't even like onion, but god damn it if I don't like that bloomin' onion.
God damn, that tangy sauce gets him every time.
I'm the same way.
Like
I don't like a raw onion, but you fry it, fucking put it in front of me.
A large Vidalia onion, huh? Golden.
Oh, we ain't talking shit about a conviction.
Yeah,
we about it.
Yes, we are fully about it.
One
Lung just said he was gonna
check in. It's still one of their cheapest appetizers. They want you to get that onion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They'll upsell the shit out of it.
They even got the thing now where you can add the onion petals to your fucking meal for like $1.
Well, it's cheap to make, and it's delicious.
It's basically, they just take a half of bloomin' onion and chop that shit up and throw it on your plate and be like, "There's your onion petals, bitch."
I feel like this is another one of the conspiracies where we're all like, you know what? I don't care. I don't care if the devil's behind Outback Steakhouse or not. I'm still gonna go to Outback Steakhouse. It's the same as Mexican Coke. I don't care if they're putting
exactly.
I really don't care. I'll accept it either way.
Pick a corporation that just told me like this, oh yeah, by the way, we worship the devil. It's like, all right, still nuggets free on Friday. I'm gonna be there,
Yes, the Apple logo is actually a reference to the
lot of
Garden
people,
of Eden.
do not like the Chick-fil-A company's politics, but goddamn, they make a good chicken sandwich. I mean, that's it. And I like their nuggets and waffle fries, But it's just what I'm saying. And if you just told me tomorrow the McDonald's worship the devil, I'd be like, they still got the 2 for $2.50 on the sausage muffins, and I'd be there. So I mean.
Red, did you mention the Apple logo?
I did. I said, what if the Apple logo was a reference to the Garden of Eden and the Eve eating the apple and having been tempted by the snake, and it's really all about the devil at the end of the day.
Yeah, I'd still use Apple. But did you know something fun about this?
A lot of it. Yeah, I still use Apple.
Yeah, I know. That's my point.
Yeah,
you don't care. It doesn't make any difference.
But hold on. You know the leaf?
Yeah.
The leaf on the top of the apple?
Yeah.
That fits in the cutout of the apple.
Yes, it does. It's beautiful.
It's so crazy.
Absolutely, one of the best design logos of all time.
Whoa.
Yeah.
So,
I think on that
to bring us
note,
back to their Chocolate Thunder from Down Under, which was a very good brownie sundae. Just tell you that. But Outback, it's just funny. People read stuff into it, and I think I really kind of picked this one for a couple of reasons. One, because this keeps feeding back into our ongoing theme that every conspiracy seems to come back to a single source document. One thing. Our Doodleston messages was like one thing that one source. This is yet another where it was basically a meme that blew up into like a local news story because frankly, I don't think they had a lot going on in that town besides the local Outback as a satanic cult, because that will actually get people to tune in at the 11 o'clock news and they'll be like, oh, so silly. Mavis, let's go to the Outback. I mean,
it's
like,
in the human interest section of the news. It's in the last 10 minutes.
There's no such thing as bad press. I mean, that really is like a thing. It's especially if it's like, hey, people just remember. All of a sudden, it's like, oh yeah, that's what they did. What? Okay, well their shit's good. I'm gonna go get some. So it's that's it. I would love if Outback was a satanic cult. That would just be so fitting. It's so fitting.
What is so funny, Mikey?
Mikey's on a laugh attack, giggle fit.
Just Josh's comment.
What did he say? What did he say?
I don't know if we want to post it, do we?
Who among us hasn't been tempted by a snake?
Oh, that one.
Oh man.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Devil steaks be good though. I bet it tastes like a wagyu.
I mean, you said you worked there for many years, Brian. I mean, you would have firsthand knowledge if there was any kind of cultish behavior happening.
There was plenty of cultish behavior.
You would have been indoctrinated.
But it was everything. It was every restaurant you've ever been to is its own little cult. As you like all go and hang out together, and everybody's having sex with everybody. I mean, that was how they hired. It was like a nice.
That's every restaurant.
It's every restaurant. So
no, I'm talking about like a devil worshipping cult. You would have gotten an inkling that was happening.
That one chick that I banged that wasn't the devil worship did work at the Outback when I worked at the Outback. So, I mean, there is a little degree of separation there. But, like, I don't think she was trying to convert anyone at the Outback. She was just trying to get them tips.
Unrelated
yes.
synchronicity or whatever.
Unrelated. But, no, do I think the Outback is running a satanic cult? No, I do not. Andy, thoughts? Do you think the Outback?
No, I think it's a fun meme from Twitter, and they have good food.
I think Buffalo Wild Wings is more likely to be run by the devil than the Outback.
Oh yeah, dude, they suck ass.
One lung, onions.
I'm gonna go no.
No, satanic cult. He loves the onions too much. Although anybody who's listening who's in need of a soul. Apparently an onion will get it for you from this guy. Just make sure it's golden fried and comes with the tangy sauce. Dave, thoughts on this?
Yeah, no. Again, same thing. Don't even really care if it's real or not. If it is, it's probably not going to stop me. I don't think this one feels way less likely than the other one. I feel like it is possible that there's Mexican Coke being made with high fructose corn syrup. I feel like there's a good chance of that. This one feels like there's maybe a 2%, 1% chance of it being real. Like it just seems silly. And I come back to your opening statements of like, this is basic city planning and franchise development and all that kind of stuff. That's all it is.
Also, you can make a lot of other shapes with 5 places.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's not just a pentagram. It could be a pentagon.
It's like whatever you want to draw. Yeah.
Yep. It's just how you connect those lines.
That's a good stopping point. I feel.
Yeah, like I said, I think that kind of wraps it up here. So I think. Well, let me just put the bow on this that I was going to do here at the end. That basically all of the food conspiracies that I saw, no matter what it was, a lot of it just came down to like even the whole new Coke conspiracy. There was a lot of different ones, and I just think a lot of them came down to just corporate decisions might be made, and in the end, that's why cookies get smaller and things change their formula and they do the bottling and all different stuff, and it's just like this economics changes all that stuff. Oh wait, people don't want all this like fake crap in their food. We make more money if we sell them food that has no preservatives and better stuff. Then that's what starts showing up. So, I don't know if there's a lot of food conspiracies. I mean, it's just the magic of our supply chain. Even is a great thing that you think about where our food comes from to where it makes it to my mouth and how many things it has to do and go through. But it's so I think there's a lot more different layers of conspiracy within the food making process, but I don't these two. No, Mexican Coke, no. Outback, not a satanic cult. I know we came out hot at you, Outback, but please send us some gift certificates.
Yeah, we all clearly love Outback Steakhouses.
Onion because goddamn,
I've got multiple friends that work at Outback right now that I should have called.
Like,
yo, you heard about this shit?
Yo. Well, you
been to a
can
secret
call
meeting
us.
lately?
You can call us. That brings me to a nice segue where you can call us and talk to us, and you should call us. And honestly, I think we're trying to coordinate here, so maybe get somebody to call in live. Who knows? We know the vibes here. You might get out and make on here. But Red, do you have that number handy?
Yes, I do. We have our fabulous voicemail line. You can leave us any length of message that you like. 917-979-6071. We'll record that whole message, and as you've seen before, if you've listened to this podcast or seen this podcast before, we love to play voicemail messages.
All right, Andy, closing thoughts on Mikey losing his shit over here in the corner.
It's just giggle fit Mikey Mini Pies. He's in a rare form tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Let's all take it in. 50 milligram Mikey. Giggle Fest. This was a great episode, boys. I think there's a lot to unpack here, from the Mexican Coke and the Outback being a satanic cult, which is like rolls off the tongue. I can't even say it without laughing. But yeah, it's another one of those episodes where we all kind of saw right through the bullshit immediately. But I don't know. Looking forward to the next one. Thanks to everybody who tuned in live. edgingthetruth.com/live. That's all I got to say.
What about our other socials? You got other socials?
Oh, yeah. Those are important, too. At Edging the Truth everywhere. So twitter.com/Edging the Truth, facebook.com/Edging the Truth, instagram.com/Edging the Truth, at Edging the Truth everywhere, youtube.com/Edging the Truth. Like this video, subscribe, comment, share it with a friend. Word of mouth is huge. Share it. If you like what you heard, tell somebody to check us out and have them tell somebody to check us out as well. But we appreciate all the love we've gotten so far. Looking forward to keeping it going.
Mikey Wanlong, you got anything you want to close with here, buddy? Pal?
Actually, yeah. You brought up a good point. I definitely think the cookies are getting smaller in the packages.
Jesus Christ.
Like, I'm serious. Like, now that's a conspiracy I get behind. Like,
don't get me started.
There's no conspiracy.
I think the Snickers bars are also getting shorter.
Yeah.
And the Twix bars also.
They took the dick vein off the Snickers. I mean, we could spend a half hour talking about that. I mean, hey.
Like, no, but that's I definitely think the Chips Ahoy cookies are getting smaller.
Lung,
Like,
you want to show off your new shirt?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God, the slowest reveal
So
ever.
dramatic. I need a Tiffany roll. One Lung's got his gear now, and you can get some too. Just visit shop.edgingthetruth.com or just go to edgingthetruth.com and you can see a link to both our shop and all of those links that Andy mentioned. There are buttons that you can just press, so you don't have to remember any of that stuff. You just go to edgingthetruth.com. You can click all our social medias across the top and follow us that way too.
Well, that's it, man. Episode 20. Mexican Coke, Outback Satanic Cult Conspiracy, the Great Restaurant Food Conspiracies. I think there's still a few more we could do again in a future episode. Yeah. But I think that we go further afield from restaurants trying to save money or place trying to save money into much weirder territory. And we all like weirder territory. But
yes, we had a comment that somehow Pepsi was involved with the death of Michael Jackson. I feel like that could be a fun one. Or maybe one that just gets us a cease and desist order.
Oh, man. If we leaned much harder into the Outback Satanic Cult thing, I feel like we could have gotten there. If that's what you guys wanted, we could have gotten there.
Isn't that the goal of this podcast?
Or how about the fact that fast food restaurants put way too much ice in your sodas?
That's not a conspiracy. That's just fucking...
Oh, my God. All right. So this has been episode 20.
Send us
Send us bubbly water.
I know that nothing I'm mentioning is a conspiracy. It just should I hate, okay?
They do that. We're changing it. Save money again.
How do you feel about Ubisoft, One Lung?
Oh, I fucking hate them. Jeez.
Visit edgingthetruth.com for more information and links to all our social media and podcast directories.